Good morning, my dear students. Our topic this morning is about arithmetic sequence. So we have discussed last time that your arithmetic sequence is a sequence with a common difference. Okay, so let's try to take another example so we could review our topic on arithmetic sequence. Okay, so for example, we have your 3, 8, 13, 18, and so on. So what would be the next two terms on this sequence? First, we have discussed about the common difference. So how are we going to get the common difference? It is your a sub 2 minus your a sub 1. Your a sub 2 is the second term, while your a sub 1 is the first term. So from here, we could say that our a sub 2 is 8, our a sub 1 is 3. So the common difference is equal to 5. Okay. So what is the use of your common difference? The common difference is the number that we are going to add to your first term in order to arrive at your second term. And so on. So what would be the next term after your 18? So it's simply 18 plus 5, so that is 23. 23 plus 5, and that is 28. Okay. So, how about if we want to come up with the 25th term in this particular sequence? So, we are going to look for your a sub 25. So, what we are going to do is find for the general term, because it would be very difficult for us if we are going to list down all the terms from the first term until such time that we arrive at the 25th term. So what is the general term? So we have said before that the general term is simply the formula in coming up with our sequence. So how are we going to get this one? We can use the common difference. So your general term is represented by a sub n. We get your 5, multiply it with your n. Your n stands for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So take note that your 3 here is derived from your 1. Your 8 is derived from 2. Your 13 from 3. Your 18 from 4. 23 from 5. 28 from your 6, and so on. Okay, so we have your 5 times n. So if we are going to have your n as 1 as the first term, what is 5 times 1? So that is 5. What shall we do with 5 in order to arrive at your 3? So we are going to subtract your 2. So we have your 5n minus 2. Let's try and test if this is correct. So 5 times 1 is 5, minus 2 is 3. So we have our a sub 1 is 5 times 1 minus 2, and that is your 3. Correct. If we have your a sub 2, this is simply 5 times 2 minus your 2, and that is 10 minus 2 is 8. Next, we have your a sub 3 is equal to 5 times 3, and that is, minus 2, and that is equal to your 15 minus 2 is 13. Your a sub 6, let's try to take a look at your 6. So we should arrive at 28. So that is 5 times your 6 minus 2. And that is 30 minus 2 is 28. So we have proven that our first term is 3, second term is 8, third term is 13. Our sixth term is 28. So it means our general term, a sub n, is equal to 5n minus 2 is correct. So therefore, if we are going to find for your a sub 25, that is the 25th term, a sub 25 would be 5 times 25 minus 2. And what is 5 times 25? 125 minus 2, so that is 123. Okay? So, from here, we have seen how to come up with the next terms in our sequence, finding for the common difference, and using the common difference, we could come up with our general term. Okay. So how about if we have another example? Another example, for example, we have our 7, we have your 13, we have your 19, we have your 25. What are the next two terms in this sequence? First, we have to look for the common difference. Again, it is your a sub 2 minus your a sub 1. So, this is equal to your 13 minus 7, and that is your 6. So, 7 plus 6 is 13, 13 plus 6 is 19, plus your 6 is 25. So, what is the next term? 25 plus 6 is 31, and 31 plus 6 is 37. Okay. How about if we want to come up with your 15th term? So that is your a sub 15. Okay. So we have to look for the general term. So what would be the general term? So your a sub n is equal to, our common difference is 6. So we make use of your 6 multiplied by your n. Your 6n, take note, it is derived from your 1. So first term is 7. So 6 times n is 6 times 1. So that is 6. What shall we do with your 6 in order to arrive at 7? This time we are not going to subtract, but we are going to add. So what shall be added to your 6 in order to arrive at 7? So that is your 1. So 6n plus 1. Now, let's try to find out. What is 6 times 1? 6 plus 1, that is 7. 6 times 2, 12. Plus 1 is 13. 6 times 3 is 18. Plus 1 is 19. 6 times 4 is 24. Plus 1 is 25. So, we have proven that our general term is correct. So, we are going to find now what is the 15th term. So, a sub 15. So, that is your 6 times your 15 plus 1. So, what is 6 times 15? That is 90 plus 1. So, our 15th term is equal to 91. Okay? So, we shall take up another skill using now our knowledge on your arithmetic sequence. Okay. So, if for example, you are given your first term is given and your common difference is also given. For example, our first term is 8. The common difference is 7. We are going to look for the first 5 terms. So, find for the first 5 terms in our sequence. Okay? So, we have your a sub 1 is 8, plus 7 is 15, plus 7 is 22, plus 7, 29, plus 7 is 36. So, these are now your 5 terms given your a sub 1 and your common difference. Okay? So, that is another skill. Finding for the first 5 terms given the first term and the common difference. Okay? So, next, how about if you are given now your first term? Okay? And your fifth term. Okay. So, example we have here, your 2 and our fifth term is equal to your 16. Okay. How are you going to come up now with the 3 terms that are to be written in between? These terms are what we call as your arithmetic mean. Okay, arithmetic mean. So, since there are 3, so that is now your arithmetic means. Okay, so before we are going to have the 3 means between the first term and the 5th term, let's try to take a more simple problem wherein we are to have only one arithmetic mean. Okay, singular. For example, we have your 8 and then we have your 24. So what is the arithmetic mean between your 8 and 24? So we have only your arithmetic mean. It is singular. Okay, so what are we going to do in order to come up with the arithmetic mean? Okay, so we are going to find now the arithmetic mean. So there is only one arithmetic mean. So if we have your 8 and 24, we are simply finding for the mean or the average. So we have tackled that in our statistics. What shall we do? You simply add the first term and your second term divided by 2. And that is 32 divided by 2, and that is your 16. So that is your 16. Now, what is the common difference then? The common difference is equal to your 16 minus your 8, and that is equal to 8. So what is 16 plus your 8? And that is 24. That is how you're going to find for the arithmetic mean between two terms. Let's go back to our previous problem. How about if there are 3 terms that are to be inserted between 2 and 16? So there are 3 arithmetic means. Okay? How are you going to do that? So we could find the middle term. So 2 plus 16. Okay? So we are going to find for your a sub 3. So we are going to have your 2 plus 16 divided by 2. And that is your third term. And this is equal to your 18 divided by 2. And that is equal to 9. So our mean is 9 between the two terms. Then what is 2 plus your 9? To come up with your second term. That is 2 plus 9 equals 11 divided by 2. And what is 11 divided by 2? That is 5.5. So, you write here your 5.5. What is 9 plus your? That is your a sub 4. What is your 9 plus 16? Divide by 2. So, that is 25 divided by 2. And that is 12.5. So, our fourth term is 12.5. Okay. What is the common difference then? What is the common difference on that particular sequence? So we have your 5.5 minus your 2, and that is 3.5. So 2 plus 3.5 is 5.5. 5.5 plus 3.5 is 9. 9 plus 3.5 is 12.5. And 12.5 plus 3.5 is 16. Okay? So that is how you're going to find for the common difference in our sequence. And of course, how to find for the arithmetic means. Okay, there is another way of coming up with the arithmetic means between your given terms. Okay, so let's have it. So we are going to take the same problem. Your 2, you're going to insert 3 arithmetic means between 2 and 16. Okay, so we have your 2 insert 3 terms between your 2 and 16. Okay. So, what are we going to do? We have our S sub n is equal to your last term is your, so that is your A sub 5 is equal to 16. Our A sub 1, which is the first term, is equal to your 2. Okay. So from here, we are going to have our general term for all arithmetic sequence. And that is our A sub n is equal to your A sub 1 plus your n minus 1 times your d. This is now the general formula in any general or in any arithmetic sequence. So we have here your A sub n is the last term, your A sub 1 is the first term, n is the number of terms, minus 1 multiplied by the common difference. Okay, so from here, our last term here is your 16. What is our A sub 1? It is your 2 plus n is the number of terms, so there are 2 terms given plus the 3 arithmetic means, so that is 5 minus 1 multiplied by the common difference. So your 16 is equal to your 2 plus 4 multiplied by your d. So let's collect similar terms. So 16 minus 2 is equal to your 4d. And what is 16 minus 2? It is equal to your 14. And that is 4d. Apply your multiplication property of equality. So we multiply both by 1/4. And that is your 4 in 4 cancels out. Your d now is equal to 3.5. Okay? So the common difference is 5. Now, what is now your 3.5 plus your 2? So it is your 5.5. Plus your 3.5 is 9. Plus your 3.5 is 12.5. Okay? So that is how we are going to find for the arithmetic means. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed our lesson on arithmetic sequence and arithmetic means. Thank you.